Hello, everybody. It's Savage Lands News coming in today with a deep dive on Vynnset. Yeah, I know. She doesn't roll dice. She's not a brute. She doesn't use Blood Rush Bellows. Why would we care? Well, Vynnset is actually kind of sick. So this new hero coming out with Dusk Till Dawn has some really interesting and unique play styles and play lines that I think are very enticing for us as Rhinar players, right? It's actually really cool. Rune blades are filthy and disgusting, and I hate them.
Disgusting!
But playing them is actually kind of fun. So why would we like Vinny here? Why would us apes enjoy playing this hero? Well, for one, she's a rune blade and has the shadow talent, which means that she's got access to everything. She has the dumbest armor in the game. Ridiculous amount of extra health if she needs it. She has action point boots, just like Rhinar does, that you can control. Granted, they maybe don't last as long, but action point boots are pretty strong. We know that, right? Rune blades have an answer to everything too, right? They have anti-aura control, anti-ally control. They have sixes. They have go-agains. They have control now, right? They have all these new cards that just disrupt out of nowhere, and split damage we know is incredibly difficult to deal with, right? So coming in for 2 for 6 with 3 rune chance is a lot better than just swinging 2 for 6, right? And what makes her hero unique to me, what I'm really focusing on, is the way that she cheats the resource curve. So a lot of decks are coming out. I don't think there's a single best one right now. I'm pretty sure we're all split and everybody has their pros and their cons, but the way I'm really looking at her right now is absolutely cheating the resource curve, meaning that I don't really want to play blues. I don't want to play any, because why would I want to do that, right? So RuneGate, this new ability, this new keyword on cards, means that you can pay for the cost of the card instead with rune chance, right? So why is that broken? Well, imagine our 2 for 6 Rhinar play, right? We pay a card, we play a 6 out of our hand, we do 6 damage. We have a VPC of 3. Okay. So that VPC of 3, that's okay. That's a decent turn. You know, swing big has a VPC of 4, right? 2 cards for 8 damage. Okay. But what if we could play our 2 for 6s with more damage?
That's a lot of damage. How about a little more?
Suddenly the VPC is going up and our hand is remaining about the same, which means that all those other cards can do interesting things like give go again, give a +3 and a rune chant on them, generate rune chants, generate more value over more turns, right? So she can pretty much do consistent damage while making more damage and not paying for anything. So it's kind of sick. So you have a much higher VPC possibility with Vynnset than you do most other heroes. And then she seems to be a combo focused deck, right? Just like we have our Blood Rush Bellows and, you know, Lexi has her 3 of a kinds and her Rain Razors. Vynnset can do some absolutely disgusting things, right? I'm talking 36, 40 damage turns if the stars align. I even have a video of it that I did on accident. Like, I'll go over that in a minute, but she seems to be a combo deck. You set up some danger zones, right? You leak a little bit of blood debt, you put a couple cards down there, and then suddenly you have this turn where you just go again, free card, go again, free card, action point, free card, right? It's nuts. And then she falls back to like brute numbers, which is ridiculous. She falls back on 2 for 6s and 2 for 8s, which is annoying. But yeah, she has blue 6s. She has red 7s, she has red 6s, she has red 5s, and remember, when you're paying for them with rune chants, they're actually red 8s. Kind of dumb. And then another thing that I'm focusing on that I think makes her unique is Eloquence tokens seem to be very powerful. You can play Tome of Fandal with Go Again. You know, we're pretty used to doing that with Scab Skins, but you can do that and generate action points and layer things in weird ways that make the Eloquence tokens stack multiple times. It's kind of broke, but go over those interactions in a minute. But you can just make free action points now. You have Scab Skins on your boots, basically. You have Scab Skins from your blood debt zone, basically. It's kind of crazy. She can just vomit action points. All right, let's go on to some concepts that you need to understand before we go into the crazy combos. Okay, so breaking the rules, right? Now, technically, we're not breaking the rules because it's the rules as written in the book. But a lot of the things that Vynnset can do kind of warp the rules in interesting ways. So before we get into these epic combos, let's talk about instance resolution priority windows, right? So you really need to understand these things. So let's go into an example real quick with spellbound creepers and layers and all of that kind of fun stuff right now. All right, so it's our turn, right? I know it's a lot of cards. Vynnset can do some cool stuff here. So we're going to talk about layering, right? And layering is really important for understanding Vynnset. It's understanding rune blades in general. It's pretty good if you're a wizard player too, or understanding if you're playing against a wizard player, right? So we have a couple things we can do here. We have spellbound creepers, right? Basically our action point generating boots. Also can do some other clever things like playing non-attack actions at instant speed that don't necessarily generate you a action point, but, you know, triggering other abilities, right? So let's start. Okay, so we're going to start off here with Mobs, guys. Boom. And we're going to play this Phantom Wrath right now with Go Again. So these are all going on the stack, right? So as you probably know, or maybe you don't know, everything is put on the stack. As the turn player, I can organize the stack resolution, right? So all these went on the stack. I could theoretically move these rune chants around, not that it makes any difference. So it's going to resolve one by one, right? So boom, right? 1 damage has triggered. So now this Funeral Moon in our Banish Zone can be played as an instant, right? So that means that if I were to play this card right this second, it would go on the stack right here. It would resolve first, and then the rest of these rune chants would resolve, right? But we're not going to do that just now. We're going to let it go. So notice our attack technically would have not been considered attacking just yet because there was a priority window for our opponent and ourselves. Our opponent has no instance in their hand, but there was a priority window before this card was considered attacking. Okay, it's really important to understand that, you know, your opponent can respond to you before your text of the card lights up and before it's considered attacking. But we paid our payment, blah, blah, blah. We're going to let it go. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so now this Phantom Wrath is on the stack. So we can actually do a couple interesting things here, right? So we can respond with creepers, just pay for creepers. Boom. Now we can layer this Read the Runes on the stack, right? Boom. And then I'm going to respond again. Okay, here we go. So these two are on the stack. They're going to resolve in the order that I played them. Funeral Moon was the last card I played. It will resolve. Then Read the Runes will resolve shortly after it. So boom, 1 rune chant. Boom, 4 rune chants. Okay. So on that stack window right there, our opponent now could respond with their own cards, right? They could take this response window. They could play a bunch of arcane cards or, you know, whatever they have out of their arsenal. Or their hand, and then theirs would resolve, and then ours would resolve. So that's really important if you're ever getting like one shot by a wizard. If you have your sigil or something in your arsenal, you would like to wait to play your sigil until you're pretty sure they can't play any more instants, right? So let this resolve. We'll let this resolve. So those all happened before damage resolution took place. Okay, so boom. Now we have all these delicious rune chants. I'm going to play another card. Right, and then boom, these all go on the stack again. They could be responded to. Boom, boom, boom. Me and my opponent could both respond with more instants if we so felt like it. Boom. Okay, so in that example, we kind of understand the layering now, right? So one key interaction with Spellbound Creepers is that you can play non-attack actions that have Go Again to generate an action point, right? So in that example, I used Read the Runes. It doesn't have Go Again. So when I played at instant speed, it just resolved and gave me the rune chance. But if I played something like Revel in Runeblood that says Go Again on it, I would be able to actually generate an additional action point to allow me to attack multiple times, right? So I could have Mob Skies attacked, created 4 rune chants, attacked, had an extra action point, and then attacked again, right? So really key important concepts to understand. So another interesting thing that Vynnset has is this new effect called Eloquence tokens. So what those do is the next non-attack action you play will gain Go Again, right? So Read the Runes in that example would gain Go Again. And if you played Read the Runes at instant speed with an Eloquence token, you're generating an action point, right? Now, what makes Eloquence tokens even more tricky is that the Eloquence token will actually go onto the stack. And when you play a card at instant speed, that card will resolve, and the Eloquence token will then go to its destruction phase, which is respondable. So your opponent can respond to the destruction of the Eloquence token, but you can also hold priority and respond to it again, which I know is kind of crazy. But you could do something like Eloquence token, read the runes, respond to the destruction of the Eloquence token, play a Funeral Moon out of your arsenal or out of your banish zone, gain another action point. Play another one out of your banish zone, gain another action point. And suddenly you're sitting on three action points, 2 to 3 action points, depending on how you did it. Absolutely nuts. So let's go into an example of that. So our opponent's at 998 health and we're at 1. Very dangerous, bad situation. So we need to like figure out how to maximize our turn. Now we have 1, 2 ways of getting go again. What if that wasn't enough? What if we needed more? Right? So let's play our mobs, guys. Boom. And then we're going to play, I don't know, this widespread annihilation. Million rune chance go on the stack. Our opponent has taken damage. Really important. So our opponent's taken damage. These are all online now. So we could get a bunch of go again for our bounding demigons here, right? So let's revel, make our free rune chance. Let's get in like one more big attack here with, we'll give it go again, I guess, right? Giving it go again. So we're going to play like, Deathly Delight, right? Bunch more rune chance, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to create an Eloquence token. Boom. On the stack. Eloquence. So now we're going to play our non-attack action here to trigger the Eloquence token. No. All right. So the Eloquence token is going to go on the stack, but not be destroyed yet if we're playing by real rules. So then we're going to layer another one on. No. So the Eloquence token has not been consumed because these have not finished resolving, right? So these are both going to go on the stack. As these go on the stack, they'll resolve their way back down to the Eloquence token. So this Funeral Moon and this Funeral Moon are both going to give me an entire action point. So boom, action point, boom, action point. Now we have 2 additional action points just sitting there for us to use, right? Now I'm not sure if Talishar actually understands this interaction or not, so we'll see. So boom, bounding demigon, go again, boom, bounding demigon. Should have go again, but it didn't quite work on Talishar. And then we could follow up with our flail or whatever we have, right? So really interesting. This works with anything that triggers an Eloquence token. So you could like Tome of Fyendal from Arsenal, play it with go again, instant out those 2 cards if you somehow managed to hurt yourself or your opponent, and then the Funeral Moons, and then you'd have 2 additional action points for you to use with that entire stack of cards. Granted, it requires setup, right? Somebody on the table has to have taken damage. But yeah, really interesting. Eloquence tokens are going to be very cool to explore. All right, so keep in mind, Talishar does not totally work with a lot of these new cards yet, right? That's why you have to click the yes button right now, so that you can't really respond to the Eloquence token appropriately on Talishar. So the layering on the screen there wasn't exactly perfect, but you can do it. I promise you, you can. There's a lot of interesting ways you can break this. It's very cool, right? So now we saw that we can gain action points from our boots. We saw that we can gain action points from Eloquence tokens, and we can do some crazy nutty things with that, right? Now we're going to talk very quickly about breaking the chain. So several of Vynnset's abilities do on hits if somebody has taken damage. As soon as the chain closes, those on hits will go onto the stack, right? So that can be things like, heal for every hero who's taken damage this turn. That can be any hero who has taken damage this turn discards their arsenal. Any hero who's taken damage this turn banishes the top card of their deck, right? So it's really important to understand if you're going for one of those massive combos that are going to have like 2, 3, 4, 5 chains, that you can break them at any point in time by either playing a non-attack action or by just saying, I'm going to break the chain. After damage resolution occurs, you can say, I'm going to break the chain. You have a response window. Your opponent has a response window. As long as you both pass, you'll be able to resolve that first chain link and then start a new one, right? So that's super important because, well, if you had 15 rune chance and you send the card that says if anybody took damage this turn, they banish a card from their hand, you can just resolve the chain, force your opponent to banish a card from their hand, and now they can't defend with one more card, right? They lose that. And then you can send another big on hit with like Mauve Skies. It's nuts. So let's put this all together real quick and show off it all kind of in practice with a pretty monstrous combo that I accidentally stumbled into while trying to make one of these. Let's jump into it. All right, so here we go. We've set up this massive turn. Here's where all of these kind of pieces and stuff come together, right? So we have Revel and Runeblood. We have, Mauve Skies there. So normally to trigger Revel and Runeblood, you have to have played a non-attack action and an attack action, right? And then it'll go on the stack. It'll make you 4 rune chance. But what if we wanted to save our Mauve Skies for a attack that's going to come in at a breakpoint later in the chain to possibly make us even more rune chance, right? Or disrupt our opponent even more than they wanted to admit, right? So there's a way we can do that here. We can pretty much save Mauve Skies for a later attack, right? So we have 2 Funeral Moons in our grave or in our banish zone, and we have 10 rune chance. So unless our opponent's Bravo, there's a pretty small chance here they're going to be able to stop all 10 of those rune chance, right? So we're going to play Rift Skitter. Has go again natively, right? And thankfully, all of these rune chants go on the stack one at a time. And now our opponent took damage. Funeral Moons are active. We're going to let these go down. And we also have Oblivion in our hand that says you can only play this at exactly 6 rune chants. So since we know rune chants go away one by one, we let the priority window go, we let it go, and now there are 6 rune chants in our control on the table. So we can actually play Oblivion, get our badass Nazareth, the Soul Harvester, out, let the rest of the rune chants resolve, and then boom, Rift Skitter is now on the stack, considered attacking, right? Really important for creepers here, right? So what we can do, we could play with, we know about Eloquence tokens, but in this example, we'll play with creepers, right? So we're going to layer creepers on the stack. It resolves. We're going to play Revel and Runeblood. Now, it has not seen a non-attack action played yet, right? So this would fizzle out and die normally. But we do have Funeral Moons that we can play at instant speed. So Revel's still scanning the battlefield before it is resolving, right? So now Funeral Moon goes on the stack right next to Revel. It will resolve first, which will meet the condition of Revel seeing a non-attack action being played. And boom, now we have 5 more rune chants. So now we save that delicious Mauve Skies, and we're going to come in with Phantom Banshee at 7, which is a breakpoint. So, depending on where we are in the game, 7 is a lot to cover. And if it hits, it's going to generate 2 more rune chants for us to fire another Rune Gate card. And keep in mind, we had go again on the first attack, go again on the second attack, and we generated a third action point with creepers with that Revel, right? So boom, that hit. We're going to pretend 2 more rune chants. We have another action point to use here. So we're going to send in our big old, we're just going to waste another rune chant. No real reason to use it, just to get free damage. Widespread Ruin coming in for 6 with our last action point. And then we're going to close this attack with Nazareth, the Soul Harvester. That was a disgusting amount of damage.
Disgusting!
So we're talking about like 30 something damage, not even considering the mountain of rune chants that we kind of fake had in this example, right? Absolutely nuts. Okay, so now we saw the big old combo. We saw what she's capable of doing. We saw the way she can break the rules. We saw her floor of being 8. We saw 30 something damage turns, right? Pretty sick. So let's talk about my deck construction thought process right now. And we'll talk about the card selection, but I by no means think this is the go-to list, right? I think that everybody's still exploring. I am only like 20% of the way through the exploration process for this deck. I've been changing it. I've changed it 3-4 times this week, just testing new things. I'm trying one card at a time to see if it fits in. Like I tried Artivore because I wanted more banish. I tried some of this other stuff. So we're going to get there. But equipment, you have your Crown of Providence. Yeah. And then you have Vexing Quill Hand and Grasp of the Arknight. Honestly, I've started playing Vexing more than anything else. It just enables you to have one massive cheat turn for free. If you have multiple sources that go again, you can just pop this, play another 2 for 6, right? Yeah, pretty nuts. Creepers obviously is super important. And then I think the biggest thing to talk about is, the chess piece. Why am I not running, a 0 or a block 6 piece of equipment? Well, I think you need a little bit of time to set up with this deck, and bleeding is really bad for you because you actually do end up putting a couple of cards in your banish zone. So you're bleeding a lot. Yeah, so if you bleed too much over the course of the game before you can find your combo pieces, you die. So I found that Carapace is actually my favorite, right? It can stop 2 on hits instead of just 1. However, I go back and forth between the block 6, but I don't really like the bleeding that much because I'm already bleeding too much. And then I think the other big thing to talk about is I'm on Flail and Grimoire, right? Grimoire, Eloquence tokens, we talked about how broken those can be in certain circumstances. And I think that there's room to play some of the more busted non-attack actions that don't have go again, like Tome of Fjendal, but I'm not quite there yet. And then Flail, why would I not run Rosetta 1 for 4? This is a -1 for 1 with a rune chant, right? Well, I don't run blues in this list at all, right? I have Mob Skies, Widespread, which I'm attacking with, and Oblivion, which is kind of like just a cool card to have. So I don't really have blues to do the standard Viscerai, like Mob Skies, 2-cost attack, Rosetta, right? I don't really have that option because I'm focusing on her cheating of the resource curve the most. Granted, I might be wrong. This might be the bad list at the end of the day, but this is where I'm going right now. So I like my Eloquence tokens a lot, and I like to end a lot of my turns where I'm generating a ridiculous amount of action points with a Flail that sets up 1 rune chant for next turn. And another thing it does is it hurts me. So any of these cards that say if a hero took damage, do X, I can turn them on. So I can heal myself, make a rune chant, and be neutral, just a zero cost rune chant. Sometimes, you actually want to create more rune chants, right? So this one, Deathly Wail hurts your opponent, hurt yourself a little bit, make 2 rune chants. That's pretty sick. Free next turn. And then there's actually a really interesting interaction where you can banish the top card of your deck. And I love having more cards in my banish zone. The more playable cards I can get into my banish zone fast, the better, which is why I was looking at Art of War initially, like just banish 1 more Rune Gate card, give me go again, something like that. To do those massive combos, you want like 2-3 attacks in your banish zone. So this just gives me another chance, mixed with Flail of Agony, gives me another chance to just banish another Rune Gate card off the top of my deck, and then I have 1 less turn of setup to do, right? It gets me a little bit closer. I can pop off faster, okay? So that's why I'm on Flail. It's free, so I don't have to pay for it, is the main reason. And then secondary reason is it does turn on certain cards, and in certain circumstances, that's really, really good, right? Even doing something ridiculous like I don't have any resources left, but Mob Skies, 2-cost attack, Revel in Rune Blood, into a creepers, read the runes, into summoning my minion, right? And then attacking with my Flail for free, right? That's an option that I have on Flail that you don't really have on like Nebula Blade. Okay, and then this deck right now is pretty much an even split on attack actions and non-attack actions. I think this is the thing that I'm trying to overcome the most, understanding what non-attack actions I truly want in the deck and what the ratio really should be, right? It is very difficult because you do have Viscerai issues, right? If you draw a fistful of non-attack actions, you can't block and you can't do anything. And your hero ability says get rid of one of them, right? So running into those Viscerai hands is what I'm really trying to solve right now. But we're pretty much looking at the best cards that have Rune Gate on them, cards that cost 0, like this one, Bounding Demagon is playable from your banish zone. Swarming Gloomveil, 0 cost since we don't have blues. It's typically always active, minimum for 3 go again, sometimes for 4 with all of the conditions on. And then all of our best Rune Gate cards, right? All of them, especially these ones that say on hit do blank, right? These are the juicy ones. I think the weakest one in my deck right now might be Rift Skitter. However, having one of these in my banish zone for a big combo turn is pretty sweet. So I'm 50-50 on it. It's like the least natively playable, but in big combo turns, it is very strong, right? But yeah, basically all of the good Rune Gate cards mixed with the 0 cost cards, especially ones that have unique interactions like Swarming does and Bounding Demagon. And then I'm working on what non-attack actions are truly important. So we know we like Go Again, so Mob Skies and Shadow Puppetry are good. Having some shadow non-attack actions does trigger Vynnset's ability, so that way we can deal with ward and things like that. This pretty much Shadow Puppetry pretty much acts like a reckless swing in the end of the game. And then ways to generate rune chants, right? Enveloped Darkness just makes you be able to play that 3-cost rune gate card that you couldn't normally afford, right? Read of the Runes, same thing. Instant this in, gain 3 rune chants, follow up with another attack. Revel, clearly the power card in the combo scenario, right? Making you 4 rune chants, allowing you to play pretty much every rune gate card you have access to right off the bat. And then rune chant generators, right? Read the runes, rune blood incantation, simple stuff. So this is where I'm starting. Again, my concept right now is to break the resource curve. So no blues. And I just need to figure out what the sideboard will eventually look like. I think there's room for like consuming volition, right? If you play more shadow cards, really defensive Vynnset setup style, like get to the old OTK Viscerai style where like you have 10 rune chants and then you go for this like massive god turn, right? Obviously, some of these powerful rune blade cards like Runic Reclamation you might want to have in your sideboard. But right now I'm focusing on this core 60. And let's go into some gameplay. Okay, so we got an opponent here. I chose to go first because I do like to put cards in my banish zone on turn 0. But let's see how this goes. Yeah, not positive on sideboarding just yet. I don't really have a sideboard strategy. So here, this is a pretty good turn. We're just going to pass. We have a Bounding Demigon. We're going to banish this card, play this with Shadow Puppetry, follow up with Bounding Demigon into Flail. This has got no, he's gonna buff this. Person's gonna attack for sure. Pass. Let's see. Show it to me. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so they're gonna not give it go again. Oh, they don't have a card in their soul. Yeah, no charge, no danger. Boom. So nice, easy setup. We don't have the best cards to follow up with Revel, unfortunately, right? Like I would have preferred to have like a big, thick attack in my first turn, but Bounding is pretty good. So we can Shadow Puppetry here. Do they have Arcane Barrier? They do. We still don't think I need to make that worse. So we're going to send in 8 with a bunch of rune chants. Go again, mind you. All right. So now they're taking the damage. Nice and easy. Almost tied. 8 on hit, banish a card. If this hits and I get a good banish, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. Oh, nope. They don't let it hit. Smart. Okay. So we have 2 options. I can try and threaten armor blocking here with another Mauve Skies into a Bounding Demigon. See if they will let me have these 2 rune chants. I think we're going to do it. Just pressure their hand as much as we possibly. So 4 go again, on hit threatening, 2 more rune chants for next turn, which is pretty great. Pretty great. So that's like a whole card and their armor, or they're going to let me have the rune chants. Ooh, they let me have the rune chants. Wasn't really prepared for that. Do we keep going? This is going to send 2 more and still threaten armor? They didn't want to give me armor on that attack. Let's do it. 2 more damage. Give me your armor. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All's well that ends well. All right. Here I want to set up rune chant generation and banish this Deathly Will. So I'm pretty okay with banish. I want to set this up. Keep the Shadow Puppetry. I'm okay with taking 1 Blood Debt here, setting up a bigger combo. Deathly Wail. So we'll make 1 rune chant. We'll have enough to play Deathly Wail. And then we'll have enough to follow up with the second one. So we can actually do a pretty decent turn. I would have preferred to have more on hits here, to be honest. Like I would have preferred one of our power rune gate cards here instead of like another Deathly Wail, but that's okay. So we can go Shadow Puppetry, Deathly Wail. Swarming is worth 4. This is worth 4 too. Well, we could probably, maybe we keep Revel again. Do we keep Revel? Shadow Puppetry into Deathly Wail. I think this turn is okay. Go again. Tie game. All right. Ooh, Lumina. Gross. Coming in for what? Fine. The only card I don't really care about is this. Oh. I would love to give up Creepers, but I like Creepers too. Do I let him heal here? Okay. Deathly Wail. Shadow Puppetry. No. Deathly Wail. Okay. So we're coming in for 7 go again with 3 rune chants. On hit. Well, anybody who's lost damage this turn we're going to heal for. So we actually heal 1. Take that Lumina. 7 go again. New Boltyn's pretty tricky, so we'll see how he deals with it. D-React probably. Oh, wow. It's a big D-React. Okay. Let's make a rune chant. Play Swarming. 4. Okay. I can make 1 more Deathly Wail with our Revel here. Or I can save it for another bigger turn that has a potential better on-hit. Interesting question. I already get the trigger from the first one healing me, so there's not real. Like I lose 1 health. 6, 10 more damage, which is pretty good. But I love having Revel. and I love having extra cards, but if we don't ever use it, what's the point? Okay, Deathly Wail. 5 more rune chance, 6 more damage. And we'll generate 2 rune chance on next turn, so as long as we get a playable 2 cost, we're in okay shape. We got kind of a playable 2. Generate more rune chance over time, and then yeah, Deathly Delight again. I don't really like sticking these rune gate cards in my arsenal. I don't have enough blues to afford them, which is kind of a bad part of not playing with blues, right? So we'll generate 2 more rune chants on next turn. Maybe we get lucky and draw blue. Too many rune chant generators now. Gross. Top 1 floating. V for the Vanguard. So this is going to come in. I think we banished this card. Sticking that 3 cost probably was a bad idea. I think I should have just held it. Probably. Pitch, play, play. Banish? Sure. OAB. Okay. How much damage? Ooh, we're going in for the biggies. Damn. Good damage. I didn't expect that. Wait. We can force go again with this. This will cost 2, though. This will cost 2. Not enough to play this. But we could generate 2 rune chants. Just short of greatness. No, we can do it. Okay, so we're going to play... Wait. So this will cost 1. This will cost 1. So that's all 2. This will cost 3. So I can't actually afford it. Lame. Yeah, I think we have to go with the original play. Leak a little bit of arcane here. Wish we could have gotten any other combination of cards. This is what I'm saying. My non-attack actions don't quite. 6. So this is a least threatening. We have 2 rune chants for start of next turn. So we can 2 for 8 and generate 4, and then he's dead, right? So we just the block, which is kind of lame there. So we can pretty much as long as we get we have one. We can literally block with our entire hand. So, which is one of the other interesting things about Vynnset is we can literally block with our entire hand. Okay. So we can just do, so generate 2 rune chants. He has no arcane. Oh, he has arcane barrier. So to that much. We can keep that. How much damage? Could he kill us though? I say we give him everything. Mob skies, widespread ruin. Let's see if he can kill us. Can you kill us? If you can kill us, I'll be mad. Oh, okay. It's making it 4. Okay. Am I dead? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can you kill me? Should I block? I really don't want to. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is there an 8? Is there a way you can kill me? Let's see. I don't know Boltyn's new cards well enough. Am I dead? I'm alive. Banish. Mob skies. Ruin. We win. Unless you can do instant damage to me somehow. But we win. So yeah, not particularly combo-y game, but still you can see how these things happen. It's pretty sick. Would have preferred to set up some like massive turn, but it didn't quite line. The stars didn't align this game. I think finding out how to have those pivotal massive turns, just 12 casual split damage, no big deal with a destroy your arsenal hit. Good game. All right, well, that was one version of Vynnset. Yeah, super interesting hero. If you guys are interested in theory crafting with me, come into the Discord. I made a new section called the Demonastery, where we're talking about Levia and Vynnset. If you have interesting lists, if you have tech, come in here, tell me, let's build together. Let's see if we can break this deck. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.